Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a really easy at-home DIY for your cuttings. It's going to be made out of a plastic bottle, so stay tuned. So all you're going to need to do this is a plastic water bottle or pop bottle, any size. This is a, what is this, a 2 liter? I don't know. This is a Mountain Dew bottle, but you can use just a regular sized water bottle or even a mini one, like those little hogwashes. You could even use that if you wanted to, if you just want a small little one. But this is what I'm going to use to do some philodendron cuttings today. So I have this philodendron. This is a philodendron Brazil, and it's very overgrown. It needs a new pot really badly, and it's just kind of, it just needs help. So I'll give you a close-up on this. The leaves are really cool. They're kind of this variegated light and dark green, so they're really pretty, but this guy needs a little better chance, and it's starting to put off some new growth at the top here. So I want to cut back some of this that's just kind of taking up space at this point. So take your bottle, and I just used a box cutter, and I just cut it like a third of the way down. So that's where I cut it. It doesn't need to be perfect. These edges are not straight or anything like that, so that's fine. So you have your bottom, and then I took my box cutter again, and I just cut a little tiny hole in the cap of the bottle. And I know you can't really see it because I have this yarn going through here right now, but I don't want to take the yarn out because I won't be able to get it back in. So just cut a little hole that some yarn can go through, just in the cap, right in the center. This also doesn't need to be perfect, it's fine. It doesn't need to be like watertight or anything like that, as long as it's not so big that soil can go through the cap. So once you have your hole, you need to take cotton yarn. It can't be acrylic yarn because it's not going to suck up water the same way that cotton will. Cotton really absorbs water, so that's what we're looking for using this. So string your yarn through there, and this is kind of long. It doesn't need to be this long. Okay, so your yarn needs to be long enough so that when you set the top upside down in the bottom, it reaches all the way to the bottom and there's a little bit of extra, and then also so it reaches to the top and there's a little bit of extra. So this yarn could only be like this tall, but it was a long scrap that I had, so I just used the same thing, which is fine. You can do that too. And then this yarn, it could only be like that. It's pretty long, but also that doesn't really matter, just as long as it's long enough. If it's too long, it'll be fine. And I also have it doubled up just because it was so long. You don't have to do that, but it will probably hold in your cap better if it's doubled up too. So what you're gonna do once you have your yarn strung through the hole in your cap and your cap twisted on good, you're just gonna put this in here like this, and it doesn't need to be secured or anything because you'll probably want to take it out again at some point. So you're just gonna set it in there like that, and then take your potting soil or your seedling soil or whatever you use to take cuttings in. It doesn't really matter as long as, like, I don't know, you could probably use just perlite if that's something you do. I probably wouldn't do it with this. It might work better with some things, but I think that the actual like peat moss will hold water in this situation better. So I'm just gonna hold my yarn up so that it goes all the way to the top of this, but not sticking out of the top, and fill it with soil. Also, by the way guys, I'm sorry that there's background noise and it's not as clear as usual. I'm in a greenhouse right now, so there's fans going. So that's what the extra noise is that you're hearing. I'm sorry. If you don't like this setting, let me know and I won't film here again. But if you don't mind, I might do more videos here just because I have more plant options and materials to work with. But so anyways, hopefully this is on camera. I'm just gonna hold my yarn and pour in some soil to this top upside down piece, filling it almost all the way to the top. I got this a little bit full, but so here's what it will look like. And notice I don't have the yarn sticking out the top of this, but it does go all the way just to below the top of the soil. I held the yarn up while I was pouring in the soil so that it would be kind of throughout the soil and not just down at the bottom of this. So it's not sticking out the top though. You don't want that because that will act as a drying wick once you have your plants in there. So now it's time to take our cuttings once we have this setup put together. So far this is easy, right? Let me know if you like this kind of like upcycled, using trash to do things, because there's a lot of things that you can use like this. You don't need to go to the store and buy brand new pots and all of this. You can use things like this. I use mason jars all the time to plant plants in. You'll kind of catch on to that. I have a lot of plants just planted in mason jars or bowls or random things that I have. So you don't need to go buy new stuff all the time. So let's take a few cuttings now. And philodendron and pothos are some of the easiest cuttings to root ever. So if you're kind of weary about taking cuttings, or you want to try some of this stuff but you don't know where to start, I would definitely start with a pothos or a philodendron. So first things first is you want to find the end of one of your runners, and you want 1 to 2 leaves on your cutting and then an extra leaf, because that's the node that the roots will come from. So I'm going to cut this off. Okay, so just like last time, I'm using a powder rooting hormone. I'm going to be full of it. Okay, so I have my cutting. I'm going to strip the bottom leaf so that there's an open node, and then I'm just going to dunk that into the rooting hormone. Okay, so you'll see the bottom cut is full of rooting hormone, and so is this leaf node. So once you have that, you just stick it right into the soil, just like that. That's all you need to do. Find another end here. This thing is just a giant tangled up mess. Okay, again, this one has it looks like this dried up or it broke, and it has a new little runner coming off of there, but there's also a new one here. I'm gonna pull that off, and that will be my node. And I'm gonna be able to stick quite a few. I could probably get at least 20 cuttings in this little thing. I'm not gonna be able to get that many from this plant. I could if I really wanted to, but I don't really want to right now. So, but yeah, you can get a lot of cuttings out of just one little container like this. I literally can't find the ends because this plant is so tangled up. This one's kind of long, but it'll work. Okay, I am really struggling finding new growth points, so I'm gonna go take a couple cuttings off of another plant. I'll be right back. Okay, so these are Marble Queen pothos. This is what it looks like. They're really, really cool. Another good one. They're pretty cool. Some of the new growth sometimes can be just plain green like that, but once it gets older, it will turn like this. So I'm just gonna do the same things with these and stick them in here because I can tell the difference, so I don't mind putting them in the same pot. So I'm just gonna do the same exact thing with these now. And these don't take very long to root at all. They take like maybe 2 weeks. They root really, really quickly. Oh, and I know a lot of you ask questions for my Q&A video. I'll most likely be posting that next week. But if you have any more questions, please ask them. I know my comments aren't working. I'm really trying to get them back up and going. I don't know what the deal with that is. It's really irritating, but if you have questions for me, any kind of question at all, ask away. You can email me or message me on Instagram. The links for both of those are in the cover art on my main page. So if you just click on my name, it will go to my page. and there you can see my Instagram and email where you can ask me questions, or if we're friends on Facebook, you can just message me on Facebook as well. And then I'll answer any of your questions in next week's video. Okay, so there it's full of cuttings. Now all I need to do is slowly water and saturate the soil, and all of that extra water will run down into here, and you want this to get full. Okay, so I have this all full of water now. There's a nice reservoir there with water to help keep this moist. The cotton yarn is going to act like a wick, pulling up the water to the soil, keeping a nice moisture level there, and it will also help keep the humidity up just a tiny bit, since this water in the bottom will slowly be evaporating into the air. So this is going to create a really, really nice environment for your cuttings, especially these that root really easily in water. You also do not need rooting hormone for these. I did it because it speeds up the process a little bit, but pothos and philodendron are the easiest plants in the entire world to root. So you do not by any means need to buy rooting hormone if you're just at home doing this for fun, whatever. You don't need rooting hormone. Just cut it, make a new leaf node available, rip off a leaf, stick it in there, and it'll be fine. It will still be a really quick process, just a couple weeks probably. So yeah, so this is what our finished product looks like. And this is really cool too because it's clear, and if you use a clear bottle it's going to be easier. Mine's a little hard to see because it's green, but once these form roots you'll actually be able to see the roots through the plastic. So this is something that can be really cool to do with kids, to kind of show them how roots grow, and it'll be fun to watch. Every day you'll see the difference in the root growth through the plastic. So that's really, really fun. And just like in some of my last cutting videos I've told you, you can also tell if they're rooted by gently tugging on one of the cuttings, and if you feel resistance, there's probably some roots forming. So this will just take like maybe 2 weeks, I would guess. This is a really quick process as far as propagation goes. So this is something really easy. If you're just starting out, you want something easy, quick, fun, try philodendron or pothos. Philodendron works really, really well, really quick to root. Like I said, really fun to do this with kids. Yeah, so that's basically it. Super easy, super fun. You'll just need to set this in a sunny window or a nice sun table, an area where it will get nice sun. And you probably won't need to water this again because they root so quickly. But just watch if the water gets way down to the bottom and the soil on top starts to dry out, just add a little bit more water and it'll be good to go. If you like this idea of using like trash and upcycling things, let me know because I can definitely do more. I have so many ideas and I do this kind of stuff all the time, so you can let me know with that. But otherwise, if you like this project, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye!